Bosses, what do your employees think you don't notice? I can totally tell when you are into one of your coworkers or when you'll start hooking up with each other. You aren't fooling anyone. But if you just do your jobs and don't hook up at work, I don't really care. Say they want to move up, but show absolutely no leadership when the opportunity presents itself. Coming in late. I really don't care about someone coming in 10 or 15 minutes late every now and then. I work at a place with a high turnover rate. Those who have stuck it out we know well, and how they work. When I get a new person and all of a sudden registers start coming up short, it's pretty obvious who is stealing money out of them. I can tell when you smoke weed during your break. I truly don't care if you smoke it at home while you're off the clock, but please stop smoking at work. I notice when you leave for an extra break. It's entertaining to watch coworkers fall for each other. It's even more entertaining when they think we don't notice that we can't find either of them for 10 to 20 minutes. We know what you're doing, especially when I watch the surveillance cameras to see where you went and see you both walk into the electrical room where there's no cameras. Taking too long for lunch breaks is a big one. You actually don't mind my cheesy dad jokes. Groan all you want, Marcus and Becca. I see that smirk when you know one's coming. I know you vape in the tech area when I'm not there. My friend who is a boss for company once told me those fuckers don't think I seen them looking at memes while at work. Them coming to work under the influence of whatever substance. Takes one to know one. The newish 2 weeks kid that stole $500 from the cash register showed up the next day with a brand new phone and then had an extra $350 in his register. Best part, he dropped his new phone in a puddle after a couple days. Worst part, despite being caught by both the paperwork and the camera, and by being the only one on register that day, because he was newish, he wasn't fired. We know who actually works hard and who does not. I come from the corporate world and most people in my office didn't get there without excelling early in their career and rising to the top. So overall, everyone is talented and definitely pull their weight professionally. We don't mind long lunches and work hours are flexible. BC my employees have to work so many extra hours during busy times of the year. That being said, I do notice attitude and it carries a heavy weight in my mind, even if it's not spoken out loud. I can tell who's petty and a gossiper and who is truly a team player. I can tell who is sucking up and who changes personalities based on who they are around. I can tell who is trying to be loud and show out versus the hard work of the unassuming employees who show up each day and quietly get their work done and rarely ask for anything. Humility is huge in my eyes. Those are the ones who get the promotions and advance. Taking an easy day. I manage a small crew, and when something isn't done it's not only easily traceable, but the consequences usually have to be dealt with right away. That being said, my crew is awesome. I pretend not to notice when someone takes a slacker day, as long as it's not a regular thing, or it doesn't put their co-workers or me in a bind, because when it counts they can always be counted on. That's not to say the work doesn't have to get done. But I'm not going to write you up for taking an extra smoke break or spending an extra 10 minutes on a task. I notice the hard days too. It is very obvious when people are texting each other during a meeting. I see that one person typing something on their phone and then someone else on the other side of the room looks at their Apple Watch, laughs, and looks straight the sender. It happens all the time. I usually don't care. I want the team to be friendly and to support each other, but if someone misses something important and then asks about it 10 minutes later, they look like a dum-dum and call themselves out for not paying attention. They sneak away for extra breaks, and they sneak away for naps, and they sneak away for extra long lunch, and they sneak away to go home early. They think they're clever because I'm too busy to catch them, but they can't hide the fact that the work isn't done. And then they get all mad when I fire them. Like I'm the crooked asshole. Most of my employees bill 8-hour days and they usually are home like 5 hours in. They bring in a ton of money and they don't leave work on the table. So fuck it. They work half days and get paid for full days. I actually noticed the hard workers from the lazy workers. I also have really good hearing, so I knew That one guy was going to quit, even though he denied it when I asked him, and another employee takes extra breaks. And yes, I could smell the weed on an employee's breath at the start of his shift. I knew some called in sick because they didn't feel like working, or they were 2 hours late for work because they were clubbing into the wee hours. I spend more time with you each week than I do with my other half, or than you do with your family. I know when something is bothering you. I know what makes you happy. I know what pisses you off. I know what's important to you, broadly speaking, in life, and I know what to expect from you on a day-to-day basis. That also therefore means that I likely know when you're hiding something or lying to. If something's wrong, happening in or outside of work that makes your life challenging, or impacting your well-being physically or mentally, talk to me. I can probably help, and if I can't, I can at least make sure your work life accommodates for it in the best way possible. Come in late. Don't prep enough even though there are lists. Not clean completely when asked. Be on their cell phones. Steal moan. To my boss that has been dealing with my shitty work ethic, tardiness, horrible sales numbers, etc. Understanding I just went through an abusive breakup with my ex who cheated on me and am doing my hardest to work. Thank you. Thank you for not firing me and giving me a chance, because I swear I'm not in the car or bathroom wasting time. I'm in there trying to hold back panic attacks and tears. I also swear I'm working on getting professional help, but I'm getting better. I'm happy, but the trauma from it all, my only relationship, and it lasted 6 years, makes me feel whack. My job and bosses have been the most tolerating bosses ever. I would have fired my ass, but they know and I know, and they have seen it, that if I get feeling good, I'm one of the best in sales. And while I have my moments I can't control, I'm genuinely feeling happy and in control of my life. When you work from home and send me your work at the end of the day, I know you worked on it for about an hour before you emailed it to me. When they come in super high and can't function properly, get it together, it's not hard to function while high. Also, I know 90% of your day is browsing the internet. Just be productive, cause I'm doing the same damn thing. Sales director here. I know when my reps are bullshitting me with their sales pipeline. They haven't put in the work for months and now have $2 million in potential revenue. Get the fuck out of here. There's a difference between a pipeline and a pipe dream. When you guys are banging, I've yet to meet anyone who has been smart enough to not let your banging relationship affect their jobs in a negative manner. When you call out sick BC of a family emergency, then post on social media about the event/party you're at. When you're lying about how productive you are. We have reports for everything. Not a boss, but I'm involved with farming out work to an offshore software development team. They like to talk a big game about how complex and difficult their projects are and set ridiculous multi-month time goals for them. 9/10 times I can look at their code check-ins and with a little Google searching find the exact free software project they crimped most of their work from, and I always know how long their projects should take. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the whole group was double dipping and being the offshore team for a couple of other companies at the same time. Think they have everyone fooled. Unfortunately, I only get to express my opinion, not actually fire them. What time you come into work? I'm laid back and I don't really care. Just don't put me in an awkward position because you missed a meeting/phone call/ or people are needing things from you. But I notice, and other managers notice as well. In fact, some of them don't like the fact that our department is more laid back. I spend 8 to 9 hours with you, 5 days per week. I can detect unusual activity such as a job search, an office affair or pilferage pretty easily because you are speaking, acting in a slight unusual way. I help manage a few of my co-workers, even though we all work remotely. I can tell when you're not using those resources I virtually dumped in your lap. I can't see what's on your computer screen, but I can see your level of output, and there's a certain pattern that happens when you're not using the tweet deck. I did, in fact, overhear you say that you were going to report me to ours because I asked you to stop making inappropriate comments about younger coworkers. No, I was not shaking in my boots over it. It's funny how people respond to being asked to stop doing something that they know they aren't supposed to do. Suddenly they go to the rest of the team and start talking about how they are going to put in their 2 weeks. And yet, I never see a 2-week. Not a boss, but I'm a young, female, 20-something in a male-dominated profession. When I set up meetings with people on other mostly male teams, a lot of men happen to respond/agree to meet/take a request at much higher rates than when it's coming from any of the other guys on my team, including ones who far outrank me. Happens with 50% of the men on other teams. No difference when I need to meet with a woman. For the record, no one has ever done anything inappropriate to me, and I have never felt uncomfortable, sexualized, etc. Most of the quick responders are nothing but professional and pleasant. I don't think any less of anyone, and although I have a lot of issues being a female in my field, not taken seriously right off the bat, etc., this isn't one of them. But I notice